Hello and welcome back to Anti-Depressing. This is the show where we talk about everything from liturgy.
To Lexapro. So excited to be here. So pumped. Can't believe it. Never been more pumped in my life
This is the life. Hold
for
on tight.
anything. Yeah, for anything in my entire life. Jasmine, how the
Just
heck
for
are
this
you?
day.
What is life like?
So good. So thrilled to be here with you. My girl, my friend, my confidant. And just chatting. I'm excited to be chatting. I'm excited to leave. We leave for Louisiana next weekend. Very
My
excited to go
gosh,
do that.
wow.
And then I'll be bopping up to Indy for NCYC. So
Woo, I can't wait to
excited.
see you
Chanel and I are
guys.
reunited for the first time in like what, a year? Um,
Yeah, which is
Basically a year.
crazy.
It's
Which
gonna
is
be crazy.
crazy.
If you see us, say hi, but also respect us.
Respect
We
us
need
because we kind of
space.
just need some time together because it has been way too long, and usually
It has been so long. So if we
we
seem
do
like we're
not.
ignoring you, we're not. We're just like really into seeing each other, you know?
Yeah,
So
so I'm pretty excited if I do say so myself.
I
um
so agree. I couldn't agree more.
so you're saying that seeing me in a couple weeks is how you're doing right now?
100%. It's my whole personality right now
Yeah,
is that we're going
I
to
love that.
NCYC in a few weeks and that
I
it's going to
love
be
it.
the best and that we're going to hang out. And it's my whole personality right now. So that's it. That's the beginning and the end of how I am. How are you?
I love that. How am I doing? Very well. I'm honestly so excited for our stories. I am very excited for life
Same.
right now. Life is
Oh my
going
gosh.
well.
We love
Um,
to hear it.
yeah, I do want to update everyone. My chemical peel has been going much better. So I'm providing that
Oh, thank
update.
you.
Yes, so my skin is healing, praise. And so things are honestly going really well. I'm living and I'm loving and I'm laughing. So
Your
I
skin
just can't
looks
wait.
really good.
Thank you so much. Life is getting better now that I don't look like a silly crazy person. Jasmine,
Thank
there's
you for the
something that
update. I'm
I've
happy for
really
you.
wanted to do though is I've really wanted to dance for a while, but unfortunately our music has just been not really working out.
You just can't
So
count on it. And you need
I
things in
just
life
can't
you can
count on
count
it.
on. In our music right now,
Yeah.
it's not one of them, you know?
Is not one of them. So I guess we can just keep that tight and keep that without the song that you normally hear us transition to our stories to.
I know.
But
Are
in
you gonna sing again?
antidepressing, yeah, I was like in antidepressant Catholic news, it is still that we will be going to NCYC and reuniting. That is quite
Yeah, in the month of
literally
November, don't expect to hear any Catholic news except for us going to NCYC.
the reuniting, and the Pope will be there, whatever, but I will be reuniting with Jasmine. So that's the most exciting.
It's
For
reuniting,
our
Pope Leo Zoom calling, you know?
Yeah, like same. So before we talk about our stories, I do want to sing a
Yes.
little song. Um,
Please
this one
perform.
is inspired by jazz.
Ooh. Me or the music.
Antidepressant, it's a blessing. Antidepressant, lay it on your ears. Antidepressing. This is a show where we talk about everything from liturgy to Lexapro, and we're just gonna dive right into these
That was
stories.
beautiful.
Thank you very much. For our first story, we're going to talk about plastic surgery. So I feel, and I would love to know how you feel, I feel that
Yeah.
you and I grew up in an interesting time where everyone was called fat. Everyone was called fat.
Truth.
Like, I remember looking at magazines, and I remember particularly Jessica Simpson performing at something, and it was like after
Mhm.
the Dukes of Hazzard, and she was wearing shorts, and people were like, Jessica Simpson, overweight, biggest she's ever been. And she literally
And
just
she
looked
was not
like
big. Yeah.
a person. And
Percent.
so
Mhm, mhm,
we
mhm.
grew up in that, like, and then everyone was just all of a sudden just like ultra thin, which whatever your body looks like, your body looks like. But it was that kind of quick fluctuation between like being larger and then being ultra thin, and then everyone being like, and then nothing ever being good. Everything was just
Mhm.
criticizable. Um, And then there was this era when all of a sudden, which I think we're still in, everyone started to kind of look the same. Like everyone,
Yep.
like Kim Kardashian was getting her booty done, but then was like, no, it's my ethnicity. And people were like, but you didn't look like that 2 years ago and you were in your 20s. So you don't have a growth spurt in your 20s. And she was like, no, it's my ethnicity. I've always looked like that. And then one day, like, and then one day, like years later, she was on the beach and there was a picture of her in a bathing suit and her bottom was like lumpy, like cheese. And and she was so embarrassed and it was cellulite. Um, and she was so embarrassed and she was like, oh my gosh, I hate that that picture has come out. I never want people to talk about my body, etc.
Oh my gosh.
Um, and that was like the downward spiral of Kim Kardashian's like, no, I just work out and do squats all the time. Until finally she was like, yeah, I pay for my body to be done. And then her sisters were like, yeah, we pay for our bodies to be done too, and our faces, etc. But there were many years of just like people never saying that they were paying, but then just saying like they worked out and that they had
Yeah.
like a really good diet. Which I just think did a lot of harm to everyone because being honest isn't bad because then I think it just helps people be like, oh, this is something that's attainable or not attainable for me in my current state. So speaking of that and all that context, celebrities have really been popping off with the honesty. Jennifer Lawrence
Yep.
recently came out and was talking about, hey, have had some cosmetic procedures and I am going to get more. And
Mhm,
essentially
mhm.
she's 35 and this is an article according to People. She confirmed that she hasn't got a facelift, but quote, but believe me, I'm gonna. And then she said, after she gave birth, quote, everything bounced back pretty much after the first one. Second one, nothing bounced back. And then she said, she said, if her life wasn't being played out in the public eye, she probably would, quote, wouldn't be hustling at the appointment in the same way. But yeah, she still considered getting a boob job. And I feel like we're
Mhm.
in this interesting time when celebrities are just kind of like, yeah, I get this done. I get my boobs done. I get Botox. I had lip fillers. And they're kind of like, yeah, this is something I can do because I can afford it. And it's not makeup. It's not the gym. And honestly, that just makes me feel kind of happy. But how does it make you feel?
I know, I agree. I do appreciate the honesty because then people who are like looking at her, which she said in the article, like she gets Botox, but really nothing else, but is planning to like, she's like, I'm gonna get a facelift. Like, I have plans. Like, I'm not
Yeah.
like not gonna do it, you know? And then
Mm,
she's like, I'm also like getting my makeup done by people who know what to do to make it look like I'm younger. You know, she
yeah.
said like she got a new makeup artist and everybody's like, "Oh, she got her eyes lifted." And she's like, "No, this person's actually just really good at what they're doing." And that is
Mm,
also like an honesty that like everybody has this like anyone can be like an easy breezy cover girl. Like anybody can do it at home. And it's like we actually do not have the same skill set as these
mm,
professionals who are doing glam for these people.
mm.
And they probably don't have that skill set. Like they're not doing their own makeup every day. Like a lot of these people
Yeah.
are, you know, contracting out. And so I do think just the honesty about it, like if you're going to do those things, you don't really owe anybody that, you know, like it's their bodies. Like,
Yeah.
okay, like what, but to then not try to sell it as this pretend thing, like that's like the same way I feel about like influencers who are like, here's my makeup routine and like here's the supplements I take, and they're like trying to sell it and get like their
Mm,
money off the affiliated link, but then you find out they're on like Ozempic or like some other GLP-1 and you're like, wait a
mm.
second. So you
Wait a
didn't get
second.
this from your Peloton? So like your
Mm,
discount code for your Peloton was not what I should have been purchasing. You know, like I think the
mm-hmm.
selling it as like a I use this pill or I use this whatever, and that made me look like this. So then everybody's like rushing to this trend when really you're doing something else
Yeah.
is not great, especially for people who are like spending their hard earned money to try to like achieve these standards thinking they can. And
Yeah.
they can't because you're like getting surgery.
Yeah.
I think the inauthenticity, if you're just doing it and not trying to like repackage it as something pretend, then okay. But I think for all of us who are like reading magazines or doing whatever and like reading about how celebrities are doing this and they're just like, I just do a lot of squats. Um,
Mm.
I think like maybe being honest about that you also are like getting a lift would be good, you know?
Mm. Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
not
I mean,
just
and
that.
honestly, I'm here for the honesty. And I think that
Same.
it's interesting because even been this like resurgence where Kim Kardashian's mom, Kris Jenner, and Lindsay
Mhm,
Lohan,
mhm.
and who else? Oh my gosh, there was one other celebrity, but they have been showing up with these faces. Oh, Demi Lovato. They have their
Oh, yeah.
faces now, and they look like the 2000s, early 2000s versions of themselves. And it's been happening, and I've been like, what is going on? And I've been
Mhm.
curious, and then I've been seeing articles saying that they're having deep plane facelifts, where essentially you like make incisions around your scalp, and then you just like pull your face back, and
Mhm.
it's like pretty intense, but it makes you look like you're a prepubescent kid. And so the thing
Yes.
that I really love about it is that all of them have been getting it, and all of them have been like, yeah, I've had facelifts. And I think
Yeah,
that we're
like
finally
Kris Jenner
moving
on this
past
new
the
season.
era. Yeah.
Yes, I so agree. Yeah, on the new season of Kardashians, the first episode, Kris Jenner's like, "I got a facelift," and then talks about how crazy it
Yeah.
was because it was, like, during all the California fires, and she, like, was in surgery for a facelift and was like, and, like, couldn't move out of her house, and I was like,
And she's like,
"Yay."
ah,
Um,
tomato, tomato.
yeah, it's just, like, so intense. Crazy. But, yes, the honesty of just, like, "Yep, that's me. I got a facelift." Like,
Yeah.
yes. Thank
Yeah.
you.
So I
Because
think,
we all were gonna notice when you came back from filming a new season and had a completely different face. Like, don't pretend we don't notice. And, like, why are you doing it if you don't want people to notice? Like, aren't you doing
yeah.
it because you want people to think you look young? So then, like,
Yeah.
they're gonna notice, you know?
Interesting. Yeah. So it's an
It
interesting thing, and I am here for the honesty. Also, Simone
same, same,
Biles
same.
came out with a TikTok post where she was like, I've had 3 plastic surgeries. I bet you guys will never guess. And everyone in the comments
Did
were
ever, I
like,
guess.
we know exactly what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, they were like boobs, ear, eyelids. And and I love the time that we
I love
live
us.
in where people can be like, your boobs look different. And it's just so like
Yeah.
everyone's
And she's like,
so
"They do."
observant. And she's like,
Yeah.
they do. And she's like, yeah, I got them and they make me feel, and everything makes me feel better about myself. And people are like, that's nice. Good. And that's good. And while you feel better about yourself in that way, thank you for not selling us slim tummy tea and telling us that that's how you got those abs, because that's really nice. So thank
It's
you.
really true, like, tell us you got a tummy tuck. Like, it's okay. Don't tell us that,
It's
like,
okay.
you just did a lot of sit-ups. Like, it's
Yeah,
tell us the
it's
truth,
okay.
you know?
Yeah. So
Yeah,
thank you,
it's
celebs,
fair.
for
It's really
finally
fair.
telling us the truth. All is fair in love and honesty.
Your beauty standards are
Speaking,
still unrealistic, but at least we
yeah.
know that you're getting surgery for them, and that's why they're unrealistic, you know?
Yeah, and at
That's
least
really
our
fair.
children cannot grow up in an era where someone's too skinny, someone's too big, but just in an era where everyone's getting plastic surgery and nobody looks like their original face. And so at least
Everyone
our
looks
children,
pretend.
true, at least our children can make informed decisions when they become
Truth.
adults.
There
So,
it is.
speaking of honesty and just being transparent, our next story is crazy because I feel like she's the
Insane.
least honest person I've ever heard of. So, we're going to
Yeah,
talk
yeah.
about Tyra Banks. She's not being honest in this particular scenario. I'm not calling out her entire character, but just calling out
But it
particularly,
does make you pause,
it does give you
you
pause.
know?
So, Tyra Banks, the Tyra Banks, you want to be on top, is an entrepreneur. We know her from
Yeah.
her TV show, her talk show, America's Next Top Model, of course. And now we know
Of
her
course.
as an ice cream connoisseur. Okay, well, don't not just yet. Um, she has recently opened up an ice cream shop called Hot Mama, in Australia, and she's opening up a location in New York. But the confusing thing is that this ice cream is not necessarily ice cream. She will be selling ice cream, but it's reimagined ice cream. Now, you might be thinking, what does that mean? Does that mean that it's ice cream sundaes or maybe nitrogen ice cream? No, it's something completely molecularly different. Now, what does that mean? We have no idea. So, according to an article from People Magazine, which Jasmyn and I were talking about before we started recording because this thing is so confusing. Her
It's
new
so
company is
confusing.
called Smize and Dream. Of course, if you're an America's Next Top Model apologist,
You know.
you know Smize till you die. She dedicated it to her mother, which is sweet. Essentially, it is hot ice cream. Okay. So we're gonna pause real quick and let you just
Yep.
think about when I say there's a hot ice cream shop.
What's coming to mind?
What's coming to mind when I say hot ice cream? Okay. All right. So on September 26th, this was a while ago because people are talking about it because it's coming to New York. They're pulling receipts. Banks announced the new dessert innovation on TikTok, saying she's been working on making it hot for a year. Okay. She's been working on making something that naturally melts hot for a year. Okay. She said, I'm talking about hot ice cream, something that has not been done before. Banks said in a video befuddling her fans. Someone commented, according to the Today Show article, quote, I don't really understand what you're selling, bestie, commented one person. Someone else said, quote, I'm confused on if it's just warmed ice cream. Someone explain it to me. Well, then Tyra jumped in and said, it is not warmed ice cream. It's not just melted ice cream.
Mhm, mhm.
This is just my favorite line, and I just want to hear what you said, what you think. Okay. It's okay. Banks says the product was the result of years of meticulous, okay, design, experimenting with temperature, texture, and formulation of ice cream bases, fats, sugars, and stabilizers to create a dessert that would be warmed without breaking down and maintain a melt on the tongue sensation. Okay. The result is a dessert that's scientifically sound yet sensorily magical, something between a scoop and a sip, familiar yet futuristic. Dude, what the freak is it? What is it? So, Jasmyn, like, what do you think this is? I still don't know what it is. After reading this, I don't know what it is. And I want to tell everyone we Googled it, we looked on Reddit. People haven't posted pictures. I don't think this
No,
thing is
people are
actually real.
just as
Maybe this is a
I think
social
you legally
experiment.
can't post pictures of it. That's what I truly
Maybe.
believe. Or she's like sweeping the internet of it. Because even the one girl we found that spoke out about this stuff on TikTok did not have any like actual footage of the thing. She recorded her reaction video at her home in the privacy of her home after it. She did not post it at Tyra Shop. The people that work there are being held there against their will. You will not convince me otherwise. The girl in her TikTok posted, she asked the girl behind the counter, on a scale of 1 to 10, how good would you say the hot ice cream is? And the girl just stood there like this. Didn't respond. Because she probably can't. You know, like what's she gonna say? I think this is one of the craziest things I've ever heard, to say the least. I think the like, I want to melt on your mouth sensation, like, it's hot chocolate, and I just think she needs to be honest with herself about what it is, and the people were, like, describing it, and they were like, "The base is, like, a hot cream mixture that's equal parts salty and sweet, and it's disgusting." Like, what is the one you read that was like, "It's like drinking salt water if the salt water was, like, milk?"
Cream.
If it was cream.
Like, it's actually
So
people
crazy.
on Reddit are like, it's diabolical. Like,
No,
it's
the fact that she spent a year, the fact that she's saying like they needed to scientifically figure out, and she could have just taken ice cream, heated it up in a cup, and put some whipped cream on it and been like, warm ice
this is
cream,
it. Warm
and
ice
been
cream.
done. And instead she did this. I honestly think it's just kind of like a trope. Like it's getting a lot of buzz. People are talking about it. It's repulsive. And it's like
Yeah.
offensive to ice cream, if
It
I
is
can say
offensive
so.
because this is one of my other favorite lines from this Today Show article. People
Please.
think ice cream can only live in one temperature, cold. Okay, all right.
It's
But I've spent
ice cream.
okay, no, but
Okay.
I've spent
But
years studying how ice cream behaves, how it churns, how it melts, how it
can't.
how it releases flavor, and Hot Mama flips that entire idea. When we got the hot recipe just right, it blooms. The creaminess isn't too heavy, the flavor sings. This isn't melted ice cream, it's reimagined ice
Oh
cream.
my gosh,
I
Tyra.
feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone, and
She's
this is a
lying to
test.
herself.
Or maybe we're in the Matrix and it's between the red pill and the blue pill, and we've all just taken a pill and we're in
You
some
might be
alternate
right.
dimension.
You might be right. This
Because,
can't be real. You know what? The only thing she flips about ice cream is like ice cream is good and this is bad. Like maybe that's what she's telling us how she feels right here. You know, she just can't say it, but this is how she feels.
but let me go to the website real quick because I went to the website, Smize
Please.
and Dream, and it's just as much of a mess as you would think it is. It's essentially just a bunch of pictures of Tyra Banks with this cup filled with, I don't know, and it's really crazy, and she's wearing a chef's hat and like licking whipped cream off of this cup, and she says
Drugs.
they have ice cream and then hot ice cream. Okay,
Oh,
so
we have both. Okay.
here we go. Apparently there's reviews from people, big time people and organizations. Once in a while, someone has a truly innovative idea, a concept that
No.
shocks and excites. Jasmine, who do you think said that?
No, it's gonna be someone big. Was
Any
it
answer
Oprah?
you said would be
I don't
wrong because it's Food Network. Because it's Food Network. There's no
No, it
way.
was not. That's
Okay.
so crazy.
There's no way. Here we go. Um, she what is it? Hot ice cream is a culinary first, a warm, pourable take on the dessert we all thought we knew. The result, a smooth, sippable treat that feels like a cross between a hot, creamy drink and an ice cream sundae. Sip, not
What?
scoop. Comforting, not scalding. A delicious contradiction that challenges everything you know about ice cream. She even has quotes. People are so confused by the idea of hot ice cream, it's mind boggling. I get it. But then you taste it and you're like, oh, yes, I get it now. And that's a quote from Tyra Banks herself. And then there's a
Mm,
bunch of AI art of women saying, make it mama. And
okay.
then when you click on Hot Mama, it doesn't say flavors. It just essentially talks about what it is, what people are saying
Because
about it.
it's crazy. And she won't say what it is because she just wants people to buy it. I saw someone
Yeah.
comment, this is exactly how celebrities should be insane. And I do agree with this. It's like kind of the best. Like this is
Yeah.
so funny. And like listen to how profound it is. Banks says when something truly new hits, because this is like she's big on the this has never happened before, right? We often react with a little confusion, just a little. She
Okay.
compared it to rollout of now iconic desserts like salted caramel and bubble tea, both of which are so normal compared to this. That's just human nature. We want to make sense of it, compare it to what we already know. I get it. First, we question it, then we crave it. That's the natural rhythm of a lot of innovation, which honestly, I don't know. Is it beautiful? I don't know.
But then when you see, you guys, I'm begging you guys to go on the website. It's
No, it's
smize.com,
so
okay?
crazy.
You see pictures of the shop and it has a glowing double arch slurkle scoop stage, part circular catwalk, part ice cream paradise, okay? So then they have just ice creams like you would see at a gelato shop. Um and then there's like kind of like truffles, it looks like, that you can put on the ice cream. And then there's this person in a cracked cat suit with a big eyeball on it. It just like really is just making me feel really uncomfortable. And before we just kind of even let you guys decide what this is, I just really have to just quickly go through the our story part of this, okay?
Please
So
give us more.
essentially this was created for her mother, which is really sweet. On the our story it says, whenever I tell people I have an ice cream company, before they ask to taste some, they go, "Wow, Tyra, why ice cream?" So then she talks about her mom and how her mom had a bunch of jobs when she was growing up, and during mama's working years, every Friday night they would go to Haagen-Dazs for ice
Okay.
cream. And then I'm trying to get to where she gets to the warm part. So she said, I know, okay, but what I do know is ice cream, the science of it, the creative art of it, the nerdy technical and the yummy tasty parts. I'm like an ice cream sommelier, but running a business is hard work. I live and breathe smiles and dreams, so I don't sleep much. I wake up every night and work because ice cream is on my mind 24/7, 365. Launching a business ain't easy, especially one that started during the pandemic. Woof, okay? Even though my keeps it real mama still loves her Haagen-Dazs, she still coaches me on how to keep my dreams burning bright. Okay, so and then she's
So
dedicating
her mom's saying it's
Smize.
not good,
So so then essentially, yeah,
right?
so then she's like dedicating Smize and Dream to mamas and mama figures everywhere. That's like sweet. And then she said, I'm hearing that Boys to Men mama song in my head right now. And then it's Tyra Banks with a headset on with the lyrics to mama from Boys to Men. And then she says, what's your dream? What stands in your way of reaching it? Never stop
What?
dreaming. And then it's a
Does
picture
she
of
not
her
have
and
a
her mom,
publicist?
and then it's her and her mom crying, and then it's two figurines with eyeballs and big eyelashes sitting in a art deco tub with ice creams falling out
What?
of it. And honest to God, somebody please go and tell us what it tastes like, please.
I'm so confused.
So at the end
If
of
you live
this,
in
you
New York,
guys,
please,
please,
because I'm so
please
confused.
go.
I'm gonna be so honest. One, she straight up said her mom doesn't eat her ice cream. Her mom likes Haagen Dazs better, which, like, I'm gonna say it. Haagen Dazs isn't the best ice cream. So your mom likes an ice cream better than yours that isn't even the best ice cream out there.
Whoops.
Already kind of embarrassing. And I just feel like the mom thing was like, none of us can really, like, we can't flame her too much for this because she like
Yeah.
threw a lot of stuff about her mom in there. Um,
Yeah.
so it does seem her mom is flaming her too. So I guess we're in good company. Um, I think this is wild. I think she should have just opened an ice cream shop that had hot chocolate at it because people are saying it's disgusting.
Yeah. So we'll
So
see. At the end of that, does anyone know what it is? Drop in the comments if you know what it is. Thank you for being with us. I did
yes,
just
please.
sign Anti-Depressing up for the Smize newsletter.
Thank you.
I pressed
That's what
I
we
pressed
need.
I pressed confirm and it said, you're a Smize fam now. Our cream relationship is going to be so yummy. Promise. I
I
can't wait.
hate that.
I can't. I can't wait.
That's crazy. I will say, I guess Tyra's teaching us that it's never too late to shift your dreams. And even if you're a millionaire from being a model, that, like, why not start an ice cream shop? You know, like, anyone can follow their dreams. I am trying to pull some sort of takeaway out of this, and it's painful, to be honest. And like, delusion is fine if it's like getting you where you need to go, I guess.
I'm just excited. I need somebody to go to this, and the fact that we literally can't find it online, like we can't find it, even a picture of it, is
Yeah.
so crazy to me. So
I need
I'm
a video,
just
and then I need the person to like wear sunglasses because I think they're gonna like Men in Black, like, you
I
after
think
you eat
so.
it so that you think it
I
was
think
good,
so.
you know?
Yeah. So I don't know. So we'll see, you guys. Somebody go try it and let us know what you think.
Please keep
For
us in the
our
loop.
last story, though, we're going to talk about the Golden Bachelor. We're going to recap it. Where are we
Oh,
at? Who do we
good.
think's going to win? How
Okay.
are we
Did
feeling
you
about
watch
it?
this episode?
I absolutely did. I watched it
Oh my
before we
goodness.
started recording. So, how are
Good,
we feeling
same.
up to this point? I do want to say that personally, I feel like I am victorious because I do think that Peg is going to carry the torch home. So, that's
I
how
do
I'm
think you're
feeling.
so right. And
Yeah.
I think Pagan, oh my gosh, what is this man's name? Mel.
Oh, Mel.
Mel, forgettable, to be honest. Um, I think they similarly are like, whatever happens, happens in a
Yeah.
way. But I do in this episode, she said, like, I could get engaged at the end of this. Mel doesn't seem to like totally understand the
Mm,
trajectory of the show and like the engagement piece. Um,
mm.
or at least that's what it sounds like when he talks to Cindy. I thought that was interesting when Cindy was like, well, you know, at the end of the show that like people normally get engaged. And he was like, no, the point of the show is to find a connection. And I knew that the point of the show was to find a connection. So whatever happens with that happens. And he seems very like nervous to rush into anything, which what a show to come on. Um, but I that isn't necessarily how he was speaking to Peg. Is that her name?
Yeah. He was
Is that her
really
name? Yeah.
speaking to Peg in like a, okay, like she's exciting. I'm excited, which honest to God, I knew from the beginning. I was like, she's a bomb
Yeah.
diffuser, ex firefighter,
Yeah, he just thinks she's
blonde.
fun
Like, yeah, she's fun. Like, she's
and
exciting.
great.
She makes life exciting. And then with Cindy,
Mhm.
he's like, she's so loving. Like, she's so loving and sweet and loving. And I'm like,
Mhm.
And so I just
And I
feel
don't think that's
horrible
what
for
he's looking
Cindy.
for, you know?
It is not. It
I
is
do
not
too. I think
because
she's
it is
really
not.
nice, but I think he's looking for a lot of, like, adventure and, like I think he's
Yeah.
heavy on, like, the "we're still young, we can still do all these things," and I think they're whoa, this is, like, jumping at me.
She's
Um,
enthusiastic about it.
yeah. Their end their, like, final one-on-ones really told a lot, and I think this is, like,
Yeah.
good for all of us. So if you're a single girl out there, take this in because
Drop
everybody's
us a
looking for different
lesson.
things.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
What I think is that they set us up in, like, perfect activities to see the differences between Peg and Cindy, and it gave us, like, a hint into what Mel's looking for. So, like, Peg, they did, like, they're riding that ATV or whatever they were riding in, and he was driving first, and she was like, "He's driving like a grandpa. This is so lame. I can't wait till, like, I can drive." And then she drove and was, like, whipping it around. She was crazy, and he was like, this was so fun. Like, this was so
Mm,
fun. She's so wild, but I still felt safe because, like, she keeps people safe for a living, but I felt so, like, wild. Like, it was so crazy.
mm,
Um, and I think that he is looking for that, like, sense of safety, but emphasis on the, like, this felt kinda crazy because I think his life has been pretty schmegular, and then, like, his wife
yeah.
was all of a sudden like, "I want a divorce," after they had this, like, beautiful, just plain simple life. And so I think he's looking for something a little more exciting. And then with Cindy, they went and
Cindy.
did this really exciting thing and like went and swam with the stingrays. And she was really confident about it. And she like coached him into being confident with it. And he was like, wow, you really like helped me feel safe in that moment. Like you really like made a scary thing feel calm. But it was
Mm,
very emphasis on like that she provided me with this opportunity to like be calm when I was feeling dysregulated. Whereas I feel like
mm,
Peg is like, I'm gonna make you feel dysregulated. Like, we're gonna do something crazy. And I just feel like he's looking for that, like, I never know what I'm gonna wake up and get the next day, like, kind of
mhm.
adventure where, like, someone is, like, physically safe, but they
Yeah.
also will wake up and be like, should we hike a mountain? Like, I think he's just
Mm,
looking for that kind of, like, spontaneity. And she has that, you know?
yeah. And I agree. And I think Cindy's giving, hey, at the end of this, don't you want to be together and like be married and be together? Because we both already kind of been through the horrible divorce thing. So don't you want to be together? And he's like, let's see how it goes. And Peg
Mm,
is like, yeah, we've been both through
yeah,
horrible divorces. And, like, I guess we'll just have some fun. And aren't we both really fun? And he was like, yeah. And so I don't know. It's like,
yeah.
it's interesting watching it play out on TV because like I feel horrible for Cindy because you can tell that she
Mhm,
just wants
mhm.
him to be like, I really, really care for you. I want to spend time with you. But
Yes.
honestly, he's just not saying it. And she's like, okay, I've been really hurt and
He's
I just
not, and
want,
he doesn't say a lot anyways,
he does not.
but
Yeah.
yeah.
So
But he's
honestly,
really not saying it to her. Yeah.
he's really not. And maybe it's because from an outside perspective, we've watched both dates back to back, so we're having like the full vision. But honestly, I cannot
Yeah.
imagine what it would be like from Cindy's end to be sitting there and a man be like, "Yeah, I guess we'll just kind of see, we'll see.
When
No
you're
big
at this
commitments
point.
yet." Yeah, like we'll see. You're like in your 60s, so we'll see who
Yeah.
he picks. But honestly, my
I
money is
know.
on Peg.
I do think that's so fair. Now, we haven't seen Cindy's s overnight. She didn't actually, they
No,
just
we
got to
have
their
not.
date, right? And then they cut it
Yep.
off.
Mhm.
Um, I do think it's really funny how Cindy just, like, clocks him every time, though, because
Yeah.
he was like, I just really think you, like, life isn't about rushing into things." And he's like, and then she goes, "Well, didn't you take a long time to decide if you wanted to marry your wife? Like, you really spent a long time, like, dating and deciding if it was right?" And he was like, "Yeah, I did. I just really think you shouldn't rush into a marriage." And he was like, she was like, "Well, aren't you divorced? So did that work out for you?" And I was like, That's crazy to say. That's crazy to say in the privacy of your home. It's so insane to say on television. I thought it was amazing.
The fly on the wall is sipping a hot cup of tea just listening to that because I was
Seriously.
like, you know what, Cindy, pop off because Cindy was like, something about
It's
me is you didn't
so
bring me
fair.
all the way to Antigua for me to sit
Mhm,
in this
mhm,
beautiful
mhm.
dress and you to tell me that I guess we don't need to rush. And I'm literally in my 60s and like, what are we doing?
Yes. Like,
Yeah.
we actually do need to rush, you know? And he was
We
like, he
actually
answered
do.
very diplomatically. It was like, "Well, but if I would have rushed into something else, it could have been a 5-year marriage and then a 10-year marriage. And then, like, I could have gone through multiple marriages in the time that I only did one." And I get it. And it's like his wife just kind of whatever. So it's not really his fault. But she did have a point that, like, did all this caution work out for you in the past? And I do think that's a fair thing for all of us to reflect on. Like, are my dating habits, relationship habits, life habits, have they been working out for me? Like, are
Ooh.
we doing the same thing and is it working? Don't be a Mel, you
Mm,
know? Like, we don't
mm,
need to repeat the same thing.
mhm,
And I
mhm.
don't know that he really is repeating the same thing or if he just doesn't want to be with her. So there is something to that. But I do think
Yeah.
she brings up a good question, you know?
Yeah, it is just giving I don't want to be with you. So, we'll see you
Yeah.
guys next week is the 2-hour finale. So, we'll see if
Oh
either
my
of
gosh.
us are able to keep our eyeballs open, but for this, I will
I hope
try.
so.
So next week's the 2-hour finale and then the next week we'll see you guys at NCYC. And thank
Ooh,
God that we can talk every week because the world can be and is a little bit depressing, but thank God.
we are not.
God. Love you guys.
Bye.
Bye.